What is good here on this Thursday? Here, talking to the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors for you folks here on Lions Nation Unite. Super excited to get into today's video. A lot to talk about. St. Brown, Netflix, receiver. We're going to get into that. Love what I saw, obviously. Training camp. What are players that potentially could break out? Someone believes that Kirby Joseph could be a breakout player. We're going to talk about CBS Sports there and the 2024 predictions for the NFC North. We're going to go over it all. Let's go. Hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Trying to grow it here on Lions Nation Unite, and soon content creators from all likes of YouTube, and you get Herman Moore. We'll be doing a lot of content here very, very shortly. Cannot wait for it to open up. Hopefully it happens before training camp. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So subscribe if you want to hear from people you may like. Hey, maybe you don't like me. Maybe you do. I don't know. But there's going to be other people on there. You can at least listen to their perspective and give you their thoughts. Let's get in here. Detroit Lions preview. Joshua Pascal, signs of a Year 3 breakout season. Now, this is one player that we have been talking about. It is ready to should make that jump. It's a pivotal year for Joshua Pascal. He's made some good plays last year. Rookie year is obviously mixed. He made some good plays, specifically that one with Kansas City where he took the RB down. He was like 3rd and 1, and they lost like 4 yards, or they lost 4 yards. But he made some progress last year. He needs to make a significant jump this year because Joshua Pascal, second-round pick, is supposed to be a rotational piece on this defensive line. Really hasn't done what we expected him to do. So they believe here, at least on Pride Detroit, that it is going to be Joshua Pascal who potentially could break out. And I tell you what, if this is correct, if he does break out, great news for the Lions. We need players to break out, to take that next step. Joshua Pascal is one of those guys that needs to step up. He absolutely does. He is healthy, 100%. Go in there, help this defensive line out. You take that next step with Hutch, Levi, and all these other players. DJ Reader, his defensive line is going to be really good. Hopefully he can take that next jump. I don't know if he can or not. This is more of a 50-50 for me. Hopefully he can, though, because if he can, good news. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on Joshua Pascal. CBS Sports says that safety Kirby Joseph could be poised for a breakout season. Now, you looked at last year and you're like, dang, Kirby wasn't doing as good as the year before, his rookie year. What's going on? Well, as revealed, he had a significant injury. He was dealing with a hip flexor, and it was bothering him all season long. He didn't even really want to tackle because it hurt so bad. And he played through this stuff. And we just seen this on receiver, too, with Amon-Ra playing through injury. This is what grit is, right? You're injured, but you're still playing. You're not 100%, but you're still playing. And, I appreciate Kirby Joseph playing through a lot of pain. Stuff is not easy, especially when you're tackling all the time. So I agree. I think Kirby Joseph absolutely could be a player to have a breakout season. We all love Kirby Joseph. Rookie year, 4 interceptions, taking care of Aaron Rodgers, sending him to the Jets. Last reception by Aaron Rodgers was from Kirby Joseph. So we absolutely do like him here. And if he does take that next step, like if he did, oh my goodness. And we just talked about Joshua Pascal. The defense really could be significantly improved with just a couple players, having a breakout season that maybe we didn't expect initially. If that is the case, great news for Detroit. I mean, literally, our offense is amazing. We got pretty good special teams. It's the defense that we have been waiting on for the past couple of years to kind of match this offense, this high-powered offense. If all these players that they drafted, all of a sudden, they come into this year and really start to put it together, huge. Huge. Joshua Pascal, Kirby Joseph. Jack Campbell is a player we would like to see take that next step. Levi Wuzurike is another player who would like to take that next step. I know we signed Marcus Davenport to be an edge, but I don't have a lot of faith. So hopefully he can help this team out there. These players maybe we don't expect have a breakout campaign like Derek Barnes. Lions looking very, very pretty. And we just talked about this a second ago about St. Brown, and he plans to go harder after contract extension. If you haven't watched Receiver, you need to go watch it. I just finished the whole thing. Really, really good, and it gives you a good insight to what St. Brown was dealing with his injuries. Significant, and he still battled through it again. Grit. That's what this team is all about. And for him to say, I'm going to go even harder next year after 1,500 receptions, 10 touchdowns, is great. I mean, this is why we paid this guy. We knew this was going to be his reaction to getting a gigantic contract. With all the players that, that we've given contracts to throughout the decades, there's one player we really don't need to worry about, and that's St. Brown, right? There's been contracts like free agencies that we've done throughout the year, like the Trey Flowers, or we get some other player, and we expect them, we pay them big money, and they don't get to that level. Every single one of us, even Lions fans who don't listen, even players who are not fans of the Detroit Lions, know that St. Brown is a dog, and he's going to do exactly what he says. He knows all the receivers has draft in front of him, 202 balls a day he catches. This guy is a stud. So let me know your thoughts about Amon-Ra St. Brown in the comments below. Let's continue on here. And I thought this was a nice subject done by Jared Reisman. I haven't even read it, but I do like the subject is who's going to win the number 3 tight end position in training camp. And I think it's going to be Shane Zylstra. I truly do. We wanted Mitchell to come in here and be probably that number 2 tight end, right? We thought James Mitchell would do that. We drafted him. Not only he's not number 2, but he's sitting at 3 right now. Brock Wright's the one that got the deal to be the number 2. And all we have heard about James Mitchell is his slow pace, and he's the slowest tight end in the group. I don't think he makes the team. James Mitchell, I do not have making the 53-man roster. We'll see where he goes. I'm sure another team will pick him up if the Lions do decide to release him, seeing that he's young and he has some potential. But he's slow. And if you're this slow, can't do it. Can't do it. So I think it's going to be Shane Zylstra, who's going to be the number 3 tight end. Remember, he got injured last year, but before that, he was really good. I loved him as a tight end, and I think he's going to be the guy this year. James Mitchell won't be here. You got Hesse as well. Man, he has a shot. I still think Shane Zylstra has the biggest odds right now to get that number 3 tight end spot. And so not every draft pick is going to work out. It's just the way that the world works in the NFL. So if he doesn't work out, it's like, who cares? In my opinion, Brad Holmes done so good that, you still got Jamar Jefferson trying to make the team, who he drafted in the 7th round the first year of the draft. It just shows you how good he is at finding talent. Is even players who were drafted late in the draft are still here for year 3 trying to compete to make the roster. I just love how we're able to find the talent and be able to do a phenomenal job because we can scout players. We know the tendency of players, and I'm talking about Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, not myself. They know what they're doing, and the plan works out how they have done it. They said we're going to go ahead and build through the draft. They have meant it. We built through the draft. Free agency's been the back burner, and that's the way it should be. It should always be the draft is where you need to excel. Then free agency comes, second to building a roster. Always get the young players, and when you do that, you're a good football team. So, question in the comments, who do you think is going to be the number 3 tight end for the Lions? I got Shane Zylstra. Maybe you don't. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Haven't even read this article. Deadspin, it says Detroit Lions defend the crown. Minnesota Vikings finish last. Deadspin, pretty good. Good place to get unfiltered thoughts as well. So let's get in here. I haven't seen who's going to win the North or anything like that. I just haven't seen the prediction. So you got the Lions going 12-5, and that's a normal prediction. A lot of people that I know think 12-5 is it. I was with Huge, and he thinks they're going to go 12-5, 13-4. I have more of 11 wins. I think 11-6 is probably where I'd go, or 12-5, the same thing. I think the Lions seems better this year. It's just a harder schedule. But I agree. Lions take the North. Green Bay at 9-8. I disagree a little bit. I think Green Bay could be a 10-win football team here. 10 or, close to 11. 9-8 just seems a little bit less for the Packers. They got a lot of young talent over there. Jordan Love looks to be a good quarterback. He's not no Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, but he's a really good quarterback in the NFL. Defense is good. A lot of offensive players. I'll probably go 10 wins. I'll probably go 10-7 for Green Bay. Chicago's coming up at 7-10. I think it's a little bit low for Chicago Bears. I think they can get to 8 wins. Again, it probably starts out a little bit slower because it's a new team, a young team. You got a rookie quarterback there. I think they can get to 8 wins, 8 or 9. 7 just seems a little bit short for Chicago. Yes, they are a better football team than they were last year. I know a lot of people get mad if I say this, but it's the honest to God truth. If you look offensively and defensively, they're a better team. I don't know if they'll beat the Lions because Justin Fields always gave us a lot of issues because this is mobility. We're better against quarterbacks who throw the ball instead of just run. He more extends the play when the Caleb Williams, and he's not the Justin Fields who's just going to basically run every play. So we'll see how it affects the Lions, but I agree that they'll be third. I think they're a little bit higher, though, in the win total. And they got the Minnesota Vikings 7-10, so same record with the Chicago Bears. Is fourth here. 7-10, I think is proper. That's probably where I'd put the Vikings at 7 wins. I agree here. I think they're probably the least talented so far right now in the NFC North. They got J.J. McCarthy. He's not going to be starting. I think they do come into 4th. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What is your NFC North rankings? Blow up the comment section with your thoughts. Adios.